So, a recruiting battle we covered here recently on the channel came to a head yesterday as four-star running back out the state of Texas, James Peoples, made his collegiate decision, committing to the Ohio State Buckeyes over several institutions, something we have to break down today. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that James Peoples commits to the Buckeyes? Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it, and if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions seem small, but they truly are massive to content creators such as myself, and we're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this unbelievable community. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And before we can get to all the points I want to talk about in relation to this commitment, we first have to ask and answer the question, who is James Peoples? Well, James Peoples is one of the most gifted prospects in a class loaded with gifted prospects, and if we look, he is a top 100 player per 24/7 Sports Composite, specifically coming in as the number 69 overall player in the nation, regardless of position, a top 5 running back, and a top 15 player in the state of Texas, a state that we talk about all the time is so loaded with high school football talent on a year-in, year-out basis, and James Peoples is among the best. And when we look, Ohio State had a lot of competition in order to get the commitment from the very talented running back. We're talking about institutions like Oregon, Texas, TCU, Bama, and OU. And when we really dive into it, which we did in the other video, we broke down every recruiter after the very talented 4-star running back. And Tony Alford, who is a phenomenal recruiter, he had his work cut out for him. Anytime you're going up against Robert Gillespie, DeMarco Murray, Tashard Choice, you're going to have a tough time getting that commitment, but it goes to show what a solid recruiter Tony Alford is and what a program the Buckeyes have. And I talk about this at length. There are certain programs that whenever you're watching a recruiting battle, whenever those programs show up to the table, you stiffen up a little bit. You know that this battle just got serious. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, all institutions that have given other places that reaction. You could be in on a running back, and when you see Ohio State walk through the door, when you see Georgia, when you see Alabama, you stiffen up a little bit because you're like, whoa, this battle just got serious, and it ended up being a massive win for Ohio State, which gave them commitment number 7 in the class of 2024 and has made sure they have a top 5 class. Now, one thing I'm super interested in, aside from seeing Ohio State's year this year, because I think they are one of the more intriguing teams in the nation this year. They're a team that has got so much talent, but they're a team that's also lost some talent to the draft. Very similar to the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm just interested to see how you're going to replace the talent you've lost, though always important to note that, like Alabama, Ohio State recruits at such an elite level. Talent is not the main issue there. And I'm not saying that Ohio State has an issue, but you get the picture I'm trying to paint you. They lost some talented pieces, and they have some talented pieces, so I'm excited to see how it all comes together. Regardless, something I'm super interested in is the Big Ten as a whole this year. Because when James Peoples committed to Ohio State, Hayes Fawcett, and if you're not following Hayes Fawcett on Twitter, I really don't know why you would be here. Seems like you would certainly know who he is before you would know who I am. Hayes Fawcett is a must follow if you're into college football recruiting and you have Twitter. Go over there, go ahead and follow him. He does a lot of the edits for these commits, so he knows the ins and outs of recruiting as well as anybody in the nation. He knows what's going on. Well, shortly after James Peoples committed to Ohio State, he tweeted out that Ohio State and Michigan have more momentum on the recruiting trail than anybody right now, and if I'm not mistaken, he said it wasn't particularly close. Interestingly enough, right above Ohio State in the top 5 recruiting classes for the class of 2024 is Michigan. Now, there's nothing but time and opportunity in front of everybody right now, so that top 10 will shake up, but it is going to be super intriguing to see how Ohio State continues to recruit and how Michigan continues to recruit. I talk about this all the time. It's just I haven't been able to break into Big Ten content as much, and I'm really excited to be able to start doing so. But one of the things I'm excited about is talking about these recruiting battles wherever Michigan and Ohio State are going heads up. And I'm not saying that's what we saw with James Peoples. I'm just saying anytime we have recruiting battles where you have two bitter rivals going heads up, count me in. I think that just adds a layer of intrigue to the battle. I think it's just awesome storylines. But This is a great addition for Ohio State. We know Ohio State's going to keep a very talented running back room. They have one of my favorite running backs in the nation in that room right now. Really excited to see what he does. And Tony Alford, I mean, we know what he does on the recruiting trail. We know what he does as a running back coach. So I can't say I'm inherently surprised to see him hit the trail, go to the state of Texas, and land a very talented prospect. What I am surprised about is that it was all the way back in 2016 whenever Tony Alford came to LaGrange, Texas, and got J.K. Dobbins. That felt like it should have been yesterday, and time has really flown. But I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments and let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.